Good evening, I'm Sean Maroney. The police chief in Durham is being forced out of office after serving for 8 years.
And I'm Sharon Tazwell. The city manager made the announcement saying a change in leadership was necessary. WNCN Investigates Jonathan Rodriguez is live in Durham with the latest. Good evening, Jonathan.
Sharon, good evening. There's no doubt this news comes after a very difficult couple of years for this department and the chief. He's been under immense pressure from a lot of groups to resign. He announced that it is his retirement, but the city manager made it clear it was time for him to go.
We don't have to agree, but there needs to be a strong level of respect between the police department and the community.
It's a relationship that's been pushed to its limits over the past couple of years.
I think it was a good decision. I think it was a late decision.
Is the chief being forced out?
Well, basically, I met with the chief about 10 days ago and told him of my decision that it was time for new leadership in the department.
City manager Tom Bonfield says it was a decision that was not based on any single event, but a culmination of issues.
This was a lot less about past performance issues, but this was more about what we needed in the department, what we needed in the community from the police chief going forward.
We're hoping that we get a police chief that is going to embrace the systemic and institutional change that we've been asking for.
Spikes in crime rates, allegations of racial bias, and a lack of transparency have plagued the department under Lopez's leadership. Do you believe the chief handled these issues well?
Well, again, I think it's important at this point that we focus less on the past and more on the future. And there are a variety of things that we all could have done better. We've all learned from that.
Last year, WNCN Investigates exposed missing and inconsistent record-keeping involving the department's use of force. When we tried to talk to Chief Lopez about it, see if we can talk to you about use of force.
No, we're not doing that.
Instead, he walked away. Is there a reason why, though?
I'm not going on camera, and I think it's wrong that you would do this.
Well, no, we did something we thought is very important to talk about.
For you to accost me when I'm coming from my car, I think it's just inappropriate.
Sir, I promise we're not accosting you. All I have is questions.
Yeah.
Clearly, for police-community relations to improve, we've got to continue to find ways to be more transparent and more communicative.
I think the job of the police chief is not only to administer and manage the police force, but to set the example.
A new example from a new chief that people who call Durham home are hoping will make the city better.
It's time for change. Change is not a bad thing. We embrace it.
Now, we asked the police chief for an interview. We have not yet heard back from his people. He did release a statement saying this is the most difficult decision he's ever had to make in his career and thanked the people at this department. The city manager also thanked the chief for his 8 years of service, saying he's one of the longest serving chiefs in Durham's history. Now, he will get, get a 6-month severance package, and the search for the new chief will start in October. We're live in Durham. Jonathan Rodriguez, WNCN News.
All right, Jonathan, thank you. And digging deeper, the police chief's turbulent history included several mishaps over the years. Key among them, the 2013 death of Jesus Huerta. The 17-year-old was found shot to death in the back of a Durham squad car. Investigators ruled the shooting was self-inflicted, even though he was handcuffed in the back seat. Huerta's family called the chief to resign. And that same year, Lopez also faced criticism over how officers handled a standoff with Derek Walker. The 26-year-old who was armed died after being shot in downtown Durham. And most recently, a defense attorney for a man found not guilty of shooting a police officer called on Lopez to be fired. Although Carlos Riley Jr. was cleared in that case, his lawyer, Alex Sharns, lashed out at the chief for saying he still believed Riley was guilty.
After months